Chapter 745. He had always considered himself adept at enduring insults and disregard, but now he painfully realized how far he still had to go as a young man. The members of the cavalry, upon meeting Pruel's gaze, moved along with him to apprehend the sage and Diamond. "Oh no, it hurts. Don't touch me, Sage!" Before Ever could even lay a hand on him, Diamond thrashed and screamed. The sage remained silent even as hands reached to seize him, perhaps because he sensed that Duke d'Arca would feign ignorance. His slightly darkened, composed expression honored Pruel. What is he thinking? Just as his hand was about to grab the sage's shoulder, the sage spoke to Duke d'Arca, who was conversing with Keol. "It's all a misunderstanding." The Duke did not look back. "The only regret I have is that I remained silent, believing that His Grace Duke d'Arca would someday understand, despite knowing his overly negative perception of us." This time, Keol, in a dramatic gesture, shuddered and pulled his father away. Yet the sage, undeterred, spoke again for the third time. "You have never once inquired about my abilities, Your Grace. Soon you will know, and then—" Oh, this man really talks too much. Finn blindfolded the sage and gagged him. The sage ceased his mumbling and stood up, led away by the cavalry members, his arms firmly held. Just as people began to lose interest in his pitiful figure, a sudden announcement came. "Your Grace, urgent news." The knight of the d'Arca household rushed in, shouting. The Duke, about to chide him for the noise, changed his expression upon hearing the whispered words. His gaze swiftly moved beyond the lake of the Fourth Wall District towards the distant, shimmering Imperial Palace in the First Wall District. "Keol, it seems today is not the day for our walk. I will hear your earlier question later. We must go now." "Where to?" Keol, sensing the unusual atmosphere, blinked confusedly. The Duke did not answer but turned his head towards the captive sage. His brows furrowed in displeasure. With his eyes and mouth covered, the sage, as if sensing something, smiled. "The Crown Prince urgently requires his healers. We should postpone investigating this man." The statement resounded among the cavalry. "Oh, this sly bastard. He just got caught and escaped like a freaking fish." Ever later wrote on the subsequent events. El felt that the sinister premonition he had experienced was related to this incident. We protested, insisting that we could not hand over the captured individual, but the Duke's party countered, citing the priority of Imperial family members' health, and suggested that we investigate the sage's other captured companions instead. "What do you mean?" Oh my gosh, that is the stupidest logic. What if that guy, these people literally exploded something in the freaking capital? How is it safe to take these people to the Crown Prince? Isn't that against the safety of an Imperial family member? Duke d'Arca halted the members' actions by arguing the lack of concrete evidence implicating the sage as a culprit, and the fact that the sage himself had not admitted any guilt. Yeah, it's not like people just admit guilt upon just getting slightly caught and having a freaking backer. Even as Finn attempted a final protest, knights threatened him with swords for restraint. Of course, such threats wouldn't intimidate Finn, but this act itself was a testament to the Duke's resolute intent. To the cavalry, any argument about their right to investigate the sage and Awakener was futile against the Duke's power. He hinted they might all be accused of disrespecting and insulting the Imperial family member if they refused his proposal. Ultimately, the members agreed to arrest only 3 individuals, excluding Diamond and the sage, and had no choice but to watch as they vanished from the sight. I understand the sage. Why did he even take Diamond with him? What transpired in the Bright Palace remains unknown, as His Majesty the Emperor has yet to speak. Our knowledge is limited to what we have uncovered through Kana and others' inquiries. We confirmed that two carriages secretly visited Diarca's residence at dawn today and then slipped away. One headed beyond Second Wall district, while the other escaped the capital. One carriage was within the Second Wall district, the other had fled the capital. It was plausible that the sage either re-entered the palace or escaped the city. The fault is entirely mine. I should have prepared and responded more cautiously. It's only right that I face criticism for failing to fulfill my duties as the deputy commander. I will report back as soon as we interrogate the three captives and ascertain the sage's whereabouts. I regret that I cannot bring you better news. Ever and the cavalry members deeply regretted and blamed themselves, evident in these short sentences. Upon lifting his gaze from the letter he had been perusing, Ydir watched as Kishir neatly folded it and placed it on the desk. Now, what shall we do? Pondered Kishir. Ever dislikes being spared from criticism if she feels she had failed in her responsibilities. However, if you, Commander, prefer not to reprimand her, I suggest assigning her a more challenging task as a form of punishment. Others might consider hard training or harsh scolding as punishment, but that won't work forever, Ydir advised. Kishir, in a soft voice, inquired, I have always sensed you understand and are closer to Everbeck than others. Did you act similarly in a previous game? It then occurred to him, had he not detailed the previous cavalry to Kishir? He had briefly mentioned past and future events, but not in such detail, judging it unnecessary. After a moment of silence, Ydir nodded. Yes, Ever was also the Shin deputy commander in a previous game, so I'm certainly more familiar with her than others. To say we are close is an overstatement though. Even after spending so long together, we still don't consider each other close? That's the reality. Ydir remembered Ever's missions and how they were executed, but they had never engaged in casual conversations or dined together. Despite both joining the cavalry at its inception, they maintained formal titles and a certain distance in their interactions until the end. Ydir had always trusted Ever's exceptional capabilities, but personal details were a different matter. What she liked, who she was close to, whom she married, such things weren't of interest to the Ydir of that time. Such things don't necessarily define closeness, but still, having spent time together, I can more accurately predict how Ever will act in certain situations than I can with other members. Upon hearing Ydir's explanation, Kishir remained silent for a while. Just as Ydir, wondering if he had misspoken, was about to speak again, Kishir enveloped him in an embrace accompanied by a sigh that resembled laughter. So, what about now? ... Do you still think the same way? The answer to that question had been settled long ago. Ydir, with a bitter, faint smile tinged with past regrets, shook his head. No, I believe I'm quite close to Ever now. Though I'm not sure if Ever feels the same, I think it's unlikely that she doesn't. That's good to hear. From what I can tell, Ever also seems to hold you in close regard. I would have been saddened had you said otherwise. Kishir's perspective probably made it so, but Ydir couldn't help feeling a bit embarrassed. He brought to mind Ever from his previous life and uttered a thought he had often contemplated. One of the biggest mistakes I thought I made as the previous game was coming to an end was not paying attention to those around you. Yes, Ydir had not trusted or wished to know about those around him. He was always sharp, always prioritizing tasks above everything else. He hadn't considered moving the other pieces on the board, trying instead to play all roles by himself. It was no wonder he had faced defeat. Okay, I don't really need that kind of reality check in my life. But try to make friends, guys, if you can. Ydir didn't voice his last thought. He didn't want Kishir to sit alone somewhere unseen as he had in the past, ruminating over his words and feeling upset. Instead, he changed the subject. So, how do you plan to respond to the letter?